Hey guys, and welcome to episode 11 of the FPL Pop In Pod, courtesy of the FPL Journal. I'm Migtavius, and I'm going to put my apologies out there. I do have a little bit of a lurgy, so if my throat gets a little bit croaky, then I'll just apologise now. So I'll quickly pass it over to my glamorous assistant and co-host, Nymphria.
Oh, do you have man flu?
Not quite yet.
No.
Maybe tomorrow.
Oh, it always turns into man flu.
It's not that bad. Maybe overnight.
Yeah. No, you'll be fine. Come on now. It's just the sniffles, man. It's just the sniffles.
Well, we better quickly get through this while my voice still lasts. So shall we get on to last week's game week review? And as you're all fit and healthy, we may as well talk about your fit and healthy team and their fit and healthy result.
Yeah, get in. Come on. Arsenal win. Chuffed with that. It goes against the grain of the 1-1 draws we've been having. Unfortunately, the only thing I got right about this prediction was the 2 goals.
It's more than I got.
Arsenal would score if Arsenal played Laka, Ozil and Sanchez up front. That I predicted 2-2 or 2-1 to Spurs if not, so didn't really go to plan with that prediction. It took us 7 attempts to win the North London derby, but we got there in the end. Controversy over the goals though, maybe.
I'm not buying it.
But I'm loving Mustafi back. Fantastic. I think he grabbed a goal.
Yeah.
That was really good because I have been saying if Arsene plays that formation and he takes... I don't know.
A big F in German. Yeah. You can say F in.
The BFG.
Yeah.
From that spot and puts Mustafi in there, then I think we stand a good chance of, getting 5th place.
Getting back in those Europa League spots.
Yeah, so my predictions weren't too great, and I don't think neither were yours.
No, I went for 3-1 Spurs. I thought that Kane would obviously score. He always scores in the North London derby, especially being rested from England duty, him and Ali. But neither of them really turned up, and both of them got subbed off to a round of cheers and jeers. Watching Mustafi, especially throwing his body in front of shots, it was like reminiscent of watching a lower league team.
Leaping salmon.
With his feet.
Yes.
Must have had the ball.
Mustafi must have had the ball.
It was a controversial free kick. It probably shouldn't have been a free kick, but then that's no excuse for the Spurs players not clearing the ball. They could have cleared the ball and it wouldn't have mattered.
Ooh,
Mustafi just outjumped him, As a Palace fan, who has gripes of other decisions this week, but that's by the by. But yeah, so well done you.
Thank you.
Well done Arsenal.
Yes, we've got to take them when we get them, so...
Yeah.
It was a difficult one, as we know, but that made it a little easier. Definitely.
Getting one up on them.
Yeah. So, my thoughts on our supporting act, Leicester versus City.
Man City, yeah.
That was 2-0 to City. Another 2-0. Between those two.
Very 2-0 weekend.
Yeah, I said in the last pod that City had failed to score more than 2 goals in that fixture in the past. And I probably should have listened to that when I made the predictions, because I said, let's just go against that and go 3-2.
It's because we normally do all these things and then follow them and then they're not right.
Exactly. So no Aguero after him tweeting he was good to go, which I think got a lot of Aguero owners like, yes, Aguero's going to play. And then they got pepped.
Especially after being 100% after his fainting incident.
Yeah. Pep did put out a tweet this week saying Sergio's fit, Gabriel Jesus is fit. It is my toughest decision. There are a lot of games and they have to be ready to play well, even if it's from the bench. So... I don't know how that makes people feel if they've got any City players up front, because that's just sounding like rotation written all over it, really, isn't it?
That doesn't really sound like he's going to be playing 2 up front.
No.
Which is annoying. Well, not for me anymore, but, we'll get to that later on.
Yeah, so what did you think on the whole Leicester versus City match?
I predicted 2-1. Nearly got there a prediction, but Man City are just carrying on with their procession to the title.
Yeah.
9-month-long procession.
Pretty one-cheeked on that throne already, aren't they, really?
Pretty much. If not 2. Which is no surprise, as we say every week after a Man City win.
Yeah.
But what I found a surprise was my surprise fixture.
Ooh.
I went with Liverpool-Southampton.
You did?
I went with a Southampton win as being a surprise. On current form, but on past form, Southampton have had the edge over Liverpool, but current form wins out most of the time. Southampton just couldn't deal with Liverpool attack, especially a certain Egyptian who is on fire at the moment. Like the...
Sizzling Salah.
Yeah. It's, as someone who doesn't own him, it's I can't say it's a pleasure to watch.
No, and I'll mention my woes on Salah later, but I do own him, so it's not quite a terrible thing for me. But yeah, your prediction was all over the place.
It was a bit way off, yeah.
Yeah.
You can never trust Liverpool to do anything you want them to do.
Harsh.
Unless you're Seville.
Oof. My surprise fixture was Bournemouth and Huddersfield. Bournemouth winning this 4-0. Again, no predictions right in this one. No. But I expected goals, and there were definitely goals. I didn't expect them all to be one-sided, mind you. And when I went for a Desmond Tutu, I just needed to add them all up and slide them over to the Bournemouth side, and I'd have been perfectly correct.
Correct amount of goals again. You should really just predict the amount of goals rather than the actual score itself, and then it'll be right every week.
That's a pretty good idea, actually.
Maybe just give up on the prediction.
We might have to implement that. Let's see how it goes. Anyway, Wilson's back, grabbing a hat-trick, and Arthur grabbing the 4th. It was against the possession shots and stats, though, that Bournemouth win. Huddersfield having 69.3% of the possession and 19 shots, compared to Bournemouth's 30.7% and 9 shots. So, Bournemouth took their chances, especially when they were 10 men at one point. After Francis being sent off. Are the old Bournemouth back?
Because King got an assist as well, isn't he? So maybe he's back soon.
Kingy!
Re-rise the King and his buddy Wilson, who's going to be flying in everyone's FPL team.
I'm thinking about it.
And other players that may be flying into FPL teams are Chelsea players, which leads us on to our Popic of the Week, as voted by all those many people on Twitter who voted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is the resurgence of Chelsea players in FPL.
Yeah.
Namely, players like Hazard, Azpilicueta.
Well, he's kind of been consistent, but yeah.
Morata sort of had a good start, then dipped for a while, and now he's sort of coming back with the help of Hazard.
Go Lonzo.
He's back with a force with his hair.
Yeah.
And even sneaking in there people like Fabregas, who someone may have sold this week.
Ooh, was he Mig Freedomed?
Mig Freedomed. Yeah.
Instead of Nim Freedomed, he was Mig Freedomed. Yeah.
Oh, so many were.
I know. Tell me about it. But no, I think Chelsea are kind of looking a bit like the team to invest in, especially going forward. Good run of games.
Yeah, they have a very good run.
I didn't even consider Hazard in my wildcard, I have to admit. It's just too expensive. But then to sit there and watch him score 2 goals and get an assist on the weekend was a bit kind of like, yeah, I should have thought about Hazard, really, shouldn't I? It was one of those ones where you think, I hope I'm not going to get burnt by not owning him. But I did get Azpilicueta in, and that kind of worked well, but didn't work out well all at the same time, because it means I've now got a Chelsea defender, but for 0.1 more, I think it was at the time, I could have had Alonso back in my team for the goal. But I'm kind of hoping long term that I've made the right decision with Aspie, with Dave. Says our Dave. In my team, so he is top at the moment, isn't he?
He is the top defender in the game.
So I'm going to hope that consistently pays out here rather than waiting on Alonso's absolutely
Peaks and troughs.
go-Lonzo weeks that he has every
And
now
then goes a long way.
I'm
away.
saying this now, he'll score every week, won't he?
Probably. But then it's only 0.1 to go up to.
Well, it's probably a bit more by now. Everyone
Probably.
jumping on the go-Lonzo train.
Go Lonzo. Well, I was someone who thought long and hard about Hazard.
You did.
I had him in various iterations of a wildcard team. Mm-hmm. But then it was a sort of having 3 Chelsea players. Is that one too many? And, well, other than Sanchez, the most expensive midfielder, I thought drop him down to something like De Bruyne. Mm-hmm. Double up on the City midfield, which wasn't too bad this week because he got a goal. He didn't do as much as Hazard, but so I was a little bit watching it, feeling a little bit sick. But it's a long game. I done transfers to think of Christmas as well.
Yeah.
And a couple of changes, and Hazard's in the game. Mm-hmm. He's in the team, even. So.
Yeah. That De Bruyne spot, you're not far off getting Hazard if you need to. Whereas myself, I'd probably most expensive in midfield at the moment is probably Salah. So to get up to, a Hazard, it's a bit more of a stretch for myself. So
yeah, keep an eye on Chelsea players.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people already are.
Yeah. If you don't have any, probably want to get at least 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, Bakayoko. Keep an eye on him.
Bakayoko.
Bakayoko. Let's go on to the points review before we, mess up any more people's names. How did you do this game week?
Better, a lot better.
Yeah, we're both after wildcards. So.
The wildcards definitely picked us back up. Mm-hmm. You more than me. You obviously.
Yeah, finally agreeing.
You can bask in your boasting in a second. I got 61 points, which is more than my previous 3 weeks when I was in the 30s and the 40s. Not my highest. It's not an outstanding week for a wildcard. Looking at comparing to my team that I moved from, it was only like 6 or 7 points more, so it wasn't outlandish. But it takes me to 637, just inside the 850k.
Ooh, nice.
Overall. Yeah, it could have been improved with a couple of changes. Moving my captaincy from Sané to Morata. But I pretty much picked everyone that I should have played because my benches were all ones. You can now bask in your whopping game week total.
Yeah, it was not my highest either, but 72, and I'm not really going to moan about it. Only, that I will moan about it a little bit later on. But no, I am happy with my 72 points. That brings me to 617 overall, 1.368 mil. Have actually gone up about 200k, I think, roughly, in the ranks. So at least it sees me going in the right direction. So the wild card paid off. It paid off because it meant that this person, who is my star player, got himself back into my team, and you just mentioned him not a moment ago, really, and that's Salah.
Yeah.
And he was there at the beginning of the season, as you know, and I got him out for, let's not go there, but basically for Eriksen. And there was a hope that Eriksen would be more consistent and not get dropped, because I'd seen Salah get dropped in the game, and I thought, Anyway, listen to past pods if you want to know what happened there.
It's real fun to listen to.
But really annoyingly, I had Salah as captain until 10 minutes before the deadline.
Ooh.
And this is when I say the 72 points I'm really happy with, but, I'm not going to complain, but I am going to complain a bit because it did have it. I even wrote out the tweet that said that Salah was my captain. And then I panicked and I kind of listened to some other people, and they were saying, surely Lukaku's more consistent. You want to go with a consistent captain.
I don't name any names.
No, I'm not going to name names. So, I switched it to Lukaku last minute. And I just can't believe it because Salah got 2 goals, a clean sheet and 3 bonus points. I suppose, in the grand scheme of things, in the wild card and getting him in and all these sorts of things, that I'd still rather have him in my team and not have him as captain than not have him at all. But that did really sting a bit, to be honest. And what about you? Who's your star player for the week?
Already mentioned him. Chelsea man Morata, 9 points. Grabbed me a goal, which is great.
Good looking man, that Morata.
Yeah.
Good footballer and good looks. Just not fair, really, is it?
Well, we can't all have it, can we? Goal and assist, lovely stuff. Could have put the captain's armband on him, but I didn't. But that's fine. Yeah, so he's my star man, my only big name striker, because I went a bit off field and loaded up my midfield and just have him as my sole sort of premium striker. So and he came through for me, which was good.
Quite brave, to be fair to you. When you passed me on your team, I thought, oh wow, he's doing something a bit out of the box.
Way out there.
But no, I see where you're going with it, and I kind of liked your thought process behind it, and I'm kind of interested to see where it's going to go.
So am I. Not about the thought process. You don't want to go into that.
Okay.
Moving on.
What about your fire player thought process? Can we at least have an insight into that?
I'm differing between two. It's the same team, just two players from it. Sané and De Bruyne. I can't really choose between them, but they're away at Huddersfield. Obviously sit here on this procession parade to the title. Huddersfield just lost 4-0 to a Bournemouth team that was struggling for goals until Wilson turned up. So I can't really see past them doing well, if not extremely well. But the last time, people were saying about a Manchester side going to Huddersfield and having an easy win, they got turned over 2-1.
A bit like when they said about Stoke last season. I remember they were like, they're going to go and they're going to thrash them, and it wasn't quite as big as everyone thought.
Because they're just going to sit in and make catch them on the break. But yeah, so hopefully they'll do well, but just going to put it out there. They may not.
Ooh. My fire player is somebody who happened to be my lightning pick last week.
Ooh.
So he's been promoted.
Ooh.
Mr. Chupa Moting, or Chopsticks as we call him on the old social media, because his name, when you type it into the old autocorrect, we get all sorts. So yeah,
all sorts, licorice, all sorts.
So
I can't say that.
So
other sweets are available.
Yeah. So Chopsticks seems to be a kind of new nickname that people quite like. But he got 10 points this game week.
He did. He had a good Monday.
A goal and 3 bonus points. We all know he should have got the assist. Yeah.
Don't open that can of worms.
That's,
I particularly think he shouldn't have.
Well, that's because you don't own him.
That's unbiased. Unbiased.
But he's got Palace next. So I was thinking, that he could bring a bit of fire, to that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope that comes through for you.
Thanks. But yeah, do you have a lightning pick?
I don't actually have a lightning pick for this past week, because the only ones that done anything in my team were the ones I was expecting to. And that's why I brought them in to the team. So there was no really one there that I put in thinking, oh, they're not going to get anything, and got something.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a lightning pick because I foresaw it.
Ooh, fine. Okay then. Just shoot that one down. Well, I struggled a little bit with this one because a bit like you, coming
I
off
struggled
of
and gave up.
That's not how this works.
I have allergy. I'm ill.
Oh, man flu. I did struggle with this one because, like you, I was coming off of the back of the wild card as well. So I was kind of hoping the people I would get in,
would do well.
Wouldn't just strike once a week, and that would be once a week. That'd be nice.
Once a week.
Once every couple of weeks, and then that'd be it. But if I had to choose one, I would say maybe Moreno, because I didn't really expect a cleanie from him. And I didn't play him. He was on my bench. But I don't see him getting one against Chelsea.
Well, I wouldn't imagine it.
So that's why I chose him as my lightning.
They can't have one against Seville, can't have one against Chelsea.
Oh, is that the rule, is it?
Well, sod's law is, they probably will now.
I am just switching Moreno into my team.
Captaincy off of Morata.
You've been promoted off the bench. I yeah, that's who I went with. Who's your Duff Puff?
Sticking with the Liverpool theme is Mane.
Oof.
Yeah, I know. He got 3 points. I mean, he kept a clean sheet. Really
What do you want from an expensive midfield player?
You know, he could have had a bonus point.
Surely not the goal and the assist he got tonight.
No, oh God, no. Heaven forbid me wanting that. Performing in the Champions League. I picked him because he wasn't Salah, because loads of people were getting Salah. So I thought, if I get Mane, he does well, Salah doesn't, boom, I'm in the money. Yeah. That didn't really work out. 3 points as opposed to Salah 16. But it's over some weeks, you know.
Yeah,
hopefully it evens itself out.
I mean, I know Salah's on fire and he's doing well. I can see Klopp giving him a rest at some point soon before this madness happens over Christmas, and that could well be, you know, after the Chelsea match. And, you know, Mane's fresh back, so I can't see him really sitting it out. And yeah, I think Mane's still got plenty in him. Yeah, I mean, he's the Mane, and when he's on
Mane.
it, he's just as good. So
He's just got to get back to being the main Mane.
yeah, so I just think, you know, you don't need to panic yet too much about that pick, and there's still Coutinho to go to as well over in that team if if you get stuck. So
Or Chan.
So yeah, speaking of Duff Puffs, even though I had a high score, I do have 3 candidates for a Duff Puff. The first being Mr. Harold Kane.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. What can we say?
I was about to ask the question, is it time to ship him out? Because, you know, I know the mob's are baying on Twitter after his 1 point on the weekend. But he's just gone and scored himself a goal in the Champions League. So, you know, I don't think you can write off Kane just yet.
No.
I am considering it, and this is my thought process, is that I would like Morata in my team. The wild card I set up allows me to go from an A team to a B team by selling Lukaku for Morata. However, my thought process was, if Kane continues to do badly in the Premier League after this game week or the next game week, when he's got another 2 fairly easy fixtures, and I'm looking at teams around me that don't have Kane in them and are doing much better than myself, then for his money, I have to draw experience on my time last season where I had Hazard in and I was seeing the amount of points he was getting compared to his price, and it was really shocking, and people were holding on to him for sheer sake of him being Hazard and he will do something fantastic soon. And I just thought, I cannot wait anymore. I need to get on to somebody else who I think might have been Ali at the time. And it propelled me up the ranks. I'm not quite as certain yet with Kane as I was with Hazard, but I'm getting close to being certain for that transfer. So watch this space on that one. But he's got a bit more time yet. It's not completely, you know, I'm not writing him off yet. He's Harold Kane.
He's got a yellow card. It's been warned.
He's got a warning. Second spot for the Duff Putt, Abraham.
Yeah.
2 points.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
Possibly injured. Really annoying when Wilson has that spot in my wild card. Like maybe 9-10 times in my wild card. Possibly even went to Nias a couple of times as well. But yeah, so he's possibly on a ban now, which, you know, I may or may not have dodged a bullet there. But yeah, I was slightly frustrated, I have to admit, when I kind of seen that Abraham got injured after having Wilson in that team, and then he went and got a hattie, didn't he? So
he did. He went to the hat store and got
a
really big one.
But my Duff Puff award goes to...
Well, it's a bronze, silver, now gold.
Yeah, the Duff Puff Duffy.
The Duffies.
The Duffies.
Oh, end of season Duffies. Oh, we have to write that down.
No. Literally, it is Duff Puff
Oh, it's
Duffy.
Duffy.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I got mauled up on who to captain and spent all that time in the last 10 minutes. Don't ask me what I was doing so close to the deadline, but
It's tradition.
That's
It
another
gets your heart
story.
pumping.
It's another story. I kind of didn't have the time to fully check the wildcard team that I'd put in. So that's really bad of me, I know. But I just put in the best team when I locked down my wildcard and saved it, and then I usually do a quick check, little time before, just to make sure I'm definitely happy with who they're up against in their fixtures. And with all the time spent choosing my captain, I suddenly realised with like 2 minutes to go, oh poop, I should have had Daniels in instead of Duffy.
Oh, yeah.
Ran over to the app quickly to switch them over and got that lovely "this game is being updated"
The trolling message.
The message. And yeah, kicking myself now because Daniels is sat first on my bench with 8 points and Duffy got 1.
Ooh.
So my potential transfers this game week, and no surprise. No, I'm joking. No, Duffy's staying there. He's all right. I don't think I need to panic on him yet. But is possibly Abraham to Wilson. I know a lot of people have done it already, but I did hear a little sneaky Twitter rumour today that Abraham might be all right. So that makes my decision a little bit more difficult there.
Sticky. Was that back spasms or something like that?
Yeah, and that's what Ruben's had, which is
Ruben
annoying because I didn't put him in my wildcard because of that. And then he turned out to be fine as well.
Fine, and grab an assist.
Boo. But my plan going forward, next game week, as I just kind of mentioned a bit earlier on, maybe Kaku to Morata. And at the moment, that funds me going Richarlison to Pogba. But I'm not quite ready to sell Richarlison because he's doing well.
He's doing all right.
So,
he can finish his dinner.
Obviously, if I did the Kane to Morata, then that might see me being able to fund it elsewhere, like a Choupo-Moting to Pogba. I'm kind of just kind of keeping that simmering there. And of course, if I don't do the Abraham to Wilson, I might kind of bite the bullet and take one and just use my transfer on Stevens to Rubens just to have him back in the team that he should have been in the wildcard anyway. So, slightly annoying.
Should always have a bit of cheek in your team.
Yeah. You got any potential transfers? Are you thinking Abraham as well?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's only really Abraham with that yellow eye above his name. But I may just leave him on the bench because I can't really see his money going down too far.
Yeah.
So I may just leave him on the bench this week.
I think he will drop tonight. But for me, I think I bought him a 0.1 lower anyway, so that I can absorb the kind of drop, as it were.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Cool. Maybe Gomez, if he continues not to play in the Premier League.
And Moreno has such a bad night tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't a good night for Liverpool.
So that's not filling me with confidence for my defenders going forward. Anyway, enough about how terrible the wildcard will be. Let's just be happy in the fact that we got above average this game.
We did. It's better than the last few weeks.
And so let's just see if we can attempt to butcher these predictions again. Our heavyweight for this coming week is Liverpool versus Chelsea.
Ooh.
Both have won 19 games, 13 at home and 6 away. They're all square on those stats. And Chelsea have failed to score more than 1 goal in the past 5 meetings between these two.
Oh.
I know.
Wow. Now you said that about Man City.
I know.
So does that affect your prediction for it?
Well,
or you're ignoring it again?
Well, yeah, because I'm going to go against the stats of the 1 goal again, and hope this time that I'm right. And I think I'm gonna say Desmond Tutu for this one.
Oh, loads of Desmonds.
I think Chelsea will park the bus, so I think that'll make it quite difficult for Liverpool to go nuts. And Liverpool have a bit of a rubbish defence, so I'm thinking it might just even itself out, a couple of goals each. But by the pattern of the way the previous fixtures have turned out goals-wise, it should be 4-1 to Liverpool.
Fair enough.
So my prediction is 2-2, but watch out for a 4-1 to Liverpool.
Just bring it out there.
Just put it out there.
Well, I'm doing an experiment this week.
Uh-huh.
I've completely ignored any stats about these games, and I'm just going to go on instinct.
Go on cuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've been relying too much on stats.
You're going off
Yeah,
piece.
off piece. I think I've made one correct prediction so far.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to, if it doesn't work...
We should have had a table, really, shouldn't we, and added
have.
these up. Although it
Probably
probably
quite
just would
easy
have
to
been
do
like
so.
1-0.
Yeah, you're like 2-1 up or something like that. Ridiculous. I'm going with a Chelsea 3-1 win.
Ooh.
I think the Liverpool defence is pretty shambolic, especially against a free-flowing Chelsea team. But Mo Salah has something to prove against a former team that didn't really play him that often and then sold him.
I think
So-
Salah looked tired tonight, bless him.
He did.
And I'm a bit worried about that. But
Well,
I mean,
with-
you would be tired after scoring all those goals. though,
Well, exactly. It's a lot of kicking effort.
I know. Yeah, it does concern me anyway. Sorry, carry on.
But it's a huge game, so he's got to play, doesn't he? I mean, he may rest him midweek.
I don't
Premier
know.
League
I
game.
mean, I guess he could leave him on the bench, bring him on as a bit of a super sub.
Well, then they have even more to prove.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm playing against my old team, and now you've benched me. What are you clopping thinking about?
Boom.
Boom.
Oh, I love Crazy Club.
Funny booms. Yeah, so Chelsea win. 3-1.
Cool. And our support act is Spurs versus West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, the latest one to go managerless.
Recent meetings have seen 4-0 to Spurs, a 1-1, a 1-1, and a 1-1, and a 3-0 to Spurs.
Good bookmarks there, so
So we'll either see a 1-1 according to the stats, or 5-0 to Spurs. Because they've been working their way up slowly.
Well, I probably know which one I'd probably side with.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm hoping it would be more like the latter, as I have Kane in my team. But something tells me it could easily revert to type. Because obviously West Brom don't have Pulis, that might make a bit of a difference.
I mean, Pulis is a very defensive specialist manager, so maybe the defence might go to pot even more
Might do.
than it already has, even though they lost 4-0. They may do a Leicester, be rejuvenated,
Might do.
and come out playing, especially at Wembley. But no, I don't think so. I think Spurs will win 2-0.
Cool.
Kane scoring again. That was the third time we've done that.
Who is your surprise fixture this game week?
My surprise fixture is one I alluded to earlier, and that's Huddersfield versus Man City. Because I think it'll be a draw. They gasp in shock and horror.
Shush your face.
I'm going with a Desmond 2-2.
Okay.
Because City will score goals. Because that's what they do.
Uh-huh.
But I can see Huddersfield having a similar performance they did against Man United.
Yeah.
And maybe pinching a couple to grab a draw.
That's interesting.
Stop that winning streak. I'm calling it now, because if it is, then I'm a genius. If it doesn't, I gave it a try.
Yeah, well, that's all we do every week.
Yeah. It's another wrong prediction. Oh my god.
Well, a surprise pick from me happens to be a certain team that you support. I'm going with Stoke versus Palace.
I like how you went with Stoke. I was like, what? Change my allegiance.
Palace, I wouldn't blame you. Palace are returning to form, and Stoke are averaging about 1.25 goals a match at the moment. So I want to say a Desmond for this one as well, like you. But
Third Desmond this week, could it be?
I'm really sorry, Meg. I think it might have to be a 2-1 to Stoke.
Oh,
I know.
you can really go off people
And
sometimes.
I'm really hoping it's Chupamochi.
Is he going to die for a penalty this week?
Ooh. Ooh. Maybe he'll not be given an assist again.
Oh.
You know.
Not that we're bitter about anything this week.
Even when we do well, we're just still moaning.
Yeah. As long as Zaha gets that one goal, that's fine. Well, it's not fine because we'd be losing, but it'd be all right from FPL.
No, I think it should go to I don't know.
Kabay.
Yeah.
Kebab. Johan Kebab.
Townsend.
Sacco.
What about
Just listing Palace players now. Speroni. That'd be a good cut.
If it's a Speroni goal, then awesome.
If a Speroni scores, I'll buy him in.
Wow.
Yeah, you heard it here first. If he scores a goal against Stoke this weekend...
Yeah, you're going to buy him in.
I will buy him in.
And then you'll keep him for like 1 week.
He's cheaper than Elliot, and he's playing.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
I would love to see the price rise on a Speroni goal.
And that is all I'm saying. Because that's the end of the show.
That's it.
Then we'll just do...
We got a bus to catch.
We do. Where are we going? Catch on.
I don't know where you're going.
Jump on Jose's bus, ready for the weekend games. Is that what it is?
It could take a while to get there. Yeah.
He tends to park it more than he drives it. But anyway,
I'm gonna play with Morata's hair on the bus.
And on that note, we should make sure you check out the website fpljournal.com, the Twitter page FPL Journal blog. I'm Migtavius. She's playing with Morata's hair. That's at She's Playing Morata's hair.
Oh wow, could you imagine if there was a Twitter handle for that? No, I'm at T&III TV.
Make sure you check out her YouTube channel where you have the backlog of all these podcasts, and a fresh new video went up last week.
Yeah, I got back on to it. Yeah.
Which is good. It had last time I saw it, was over 700 views or something crazy like that. But back to her best.
Hopefully. But I'm not sure if I'm back consistently yet. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully all good.
Well, when they do pop up, they're gems.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
That's kind. You can be so nice
I
sometimes.
know. Only cost about a tenner each time.
I'm just going to be skint soon.
Well, it's a good job if you are skint, because you can get the podcast for free on iTunes.
Oh, nice.
And SoundCloud and Stitcher and on the YouTube channel.
That's very good.
And don't forget, you don't need money to keep popping.
#keep popping.